This is 1999 BMW 7 Series, the most beautiful sedan ever made. In fact, this is my E38 BMW 7 Series, and I'm selling this car on Cars and Bids.
Cars and Bids.
All right, I'm done with Doug DeMuro impression, but I am serious. I'm selling this car on Cars and Bids, and in this video, I will give you a quick tour of this car. I'm gonna point at things that's still wrong with this car. Nothing major, to be honest. Things that I have fixed and things that have been enjoyable. I'm just gonna give you the overview, and this is my goodbye video for this car, and I'm a little sad. But anyway, let's get into it. All right, I'm about to prepare this car for some pictures, which I am gonna be taking myself. Since I have a professional camera, why not do it myself? And luckily, just about a few weeks ago, I got a full detailing on this car, so it just needs some touch-ups, some general quick wipe down, and it will be ready for pictures. I own this car, as I mentioned, since July, so that's what, almost 4 months now, and it's been a lot better than I imagined. I heard some great things about it, obviously, but originally I was gonna keep it for like a couple of months, experience it, because that's what I do usually. I sell cars every few months or so. But then I liked it so much that I decided to keep it for a little longer. But now I started a different challenge, car challenge on my YouTube, and I am gonna need to let this one go. It is sad, but it's time to let this baby go. And I recently took it to Palm Springs. So far, it's been great driving this car to Palm Springs. We're probably 2.5 hours now away from Phoenix. We're actually entering California state line right now, and there's some traffic going on here. But it's been great. This car is so comfortable to drive a long trip. It's pretty economical. It's getting about probably close to 22, 23 miles per gallon. I left Phoenix with full tank, and I'm only quarter of a tank short now. So it's getting really good gas mileage. And we are officially in California with the most beautiful sedan ever made, the E38 BMW. This is so good. Look at that one. Oh yes. Look at that 280Z. Yes. From Phoenix to Palm Springs is about 300 miles one way, so back and forth it was about 600 miles, and it didn't give me any trouble at all. And not just the road trip to Palm Springs, but also during my ownership, this car never broke down on me, and it never had a single light come on the gauge cluster. There's a brake light that comes on intermittently, occasionally, but brakes are new, by the way, which I replaced the brakes. And then I replaced the window regulator on the passenger side rear door, so the window wouldn't go up and down. So I replaced that, and then I did the oil change. All right, we're doing the oil change here. We're about to drain the oil. There it is. Oh, yes. Check out the old filter. I think on this oil, there's another 3,000 miles or so to go. I replaced it like literally 1,000 miles after I bought the car. So at least there's 3,000 miles or so on it. But I put the full synthetic oil, and it's up to you whether you want to change the oil every 5,000 miles, which that's what I do. But there's plenty oil life left for sure. And then when I took the car and lifted it, there was no leaks really, and the oil level has been the same since I replaced the oil, but it was little like wet, oily wet, but I didn't see any oil leaks, to be honest. And the previous owner did tell me that he did some kind of work, and at 110 or so, the timing chain was serviced, which is apparently one of the biggest issues for these V8s in the 740iL and 5 Series that had the same engine, V8 version. So, but it didn't give me any issues since I owned it, and I put around 3,000, a little over 3,000 miles now, and it's been great, to be honest. It's been so enjoyable. I'm almost done here. It's ready for pictures. I'm about to head out, and right after that, I'm gonna give you again a full tour of it and point out at every little, for the most part, cosmetic issues that this car has. And another thing that is kind of wrong with it is the keys. To be honest, I couldn't figure out how to make it work. The remote doesn't really work. I have 2 keys for it, and I have the 3rd key, which is the valet key. It starts the car sensed the key, but it wouldn't lock it and unlock it. I called a few locksmiths. I even called the BMW. They said it might be it needs a new chip, but if it needed a new chip, then why the car reads the key? So I couldn't figure that out. I'm gonna leave that to the next owner. Another thing that is wrong with it is the sunroof. I don't really care about the sunroof. That's how I bought it. It wouldn't open or close, but it is the issue, and I want to disclose that. And now let's go and take some pictures. This car is such a treat, especially as a daily driver. People might think it's an old BMW and it is kind of unreliable, but to be honest, since I had this car for over 3,000 miles now, it's been nothing but reliable. And as I already mentioned, I took the car to Palm Springs and back, and that was my biggest road trip testing this car, and it did phenomenal. And then looking at in front of me, the gauge cluster, there's not a single light, and it has been this way since I bought it, and I hope it stays this way for the new owner that's going to buy this car. And speaking of this car, it is just amazing. It's spacious, it's luxurious, it's quiet in here. It is just amazing quality, the build quality, everything is just so firm, and it feels reliable and solid. BMW truly used to build cars so differently. I truly believe that when this car came out, it was the king of all luxury sedans, because S-Class wasn't this good at the time. And on top of that, it is incredibly athletic. It's just so fun to drive. I truly enjoyed this car, and I had it for as long as I had it. And it's time to move on for me because I have few more projects coming up. I always have a couple cars at a time, and I just can't keep this car, unfortunately. As you saw, I don't have a garage, and that is the reason. But as a small creator on YouTube and having my small place, I just can't afford keeping this car for now. So that's why I'm letting it go. And with that being said, I truly wish this car to be in really good hands, caring hands. And I know selling this car within the cars and bits community will do exactly that. Speaking of Cars and Bits, it is live on Cars and Bits right now. You can find the link to live auction of this car in the description. And this video is one of the many videos that I am making on eThereator's YouTube series actually. And all the links for those videos are also in the description. And this has been a great journey, even though a short one, but I truly enjoyed it. And I actually bought this car with the intention to sell it on Cars and Bits. And in the very first video, I clearly highlight that. I also made a video how I took this car to a CarMax for an appraisal just to have fun, like so many car enthusiasts here on YouTube do. So if you want more comprehensive and more detailed videos that I did with this car, including the day when I bought the car, I actually filmed with it. If you want to see the original condition that I picked it up from the previous owner, then those videos are going to be helpful for you. Check them out. Now let me give you a quick first view person walk around of this car. We're going to start up front. Obviously up front, for how old this car is, you're gonna find some rock chip paints up front. I don't know if you can tell, but there are little paint chips for sure. There's a little scratches. This is a little deeper one. I don't think you can buff that out, but you might make it a little less noticeable. I didn't get to it, to be honest. It never bothered me. Headlights are great. The fog light, however, is a little cracked, but it still works, which is awesome. Bumpers are actually very solid. I don't really have anything on them. So then the tires are a little, have a little more than maybe 5,000 miles on them. Have the receipt that comes with the car. Actually, windshield has this little chip here, but there's no small cracks or anything like that. So it's just a little chip on it. And then wheels are pretty solid. Approaching the back, you're immediately gonna notice this little thing above the rear bumper. It's the whole plastic that I guess could be fully replaced. You don't have to replace the whole bumper from my understanding, but overall the bumper is in really good shape. And then the trunk is massive, obviously expected to be. Battery looks decent, looks kind of newer. I don't know what 4222 means right there. Maybe 42nd week of 2022 is when this battery was made. I'm not sure, to be honest. So it's nice and clean. And then we're gonna get inside the car just in the second, final walk around again. And then let's check out inside the car. So in the back you can see the door pocket is a little saggy on the driver's side, and to be honest, this seat is a little weird. Can you tell it's turned a little bit to the left on this side? So all the seat controllers work, but this side of the driver seat, this side specifically, I'm not sure why it's not turning more. It's like way slower. It didn't bother me because it's pretty comfortable for me, but this is how it came. And I left it as is, to be honest. It never bothered me, as I mentioned. But other than this kind of failing to turn with the rest of the back part of the seat and the seat being a little worn, it's pretty solid. And then there's a little wear on your armrest here, which I guess pretty explanatory for its age. But the buttons and the dash is very solid. There's no cracks all around. It's very solid. The back seats are obviously solid. So when it comes to the controls and windows, everything works. I fixed that rear window, which I wanted to fix that.
Flashback.
Yes, sir. I need a window regulator for 1999 BMW 740. Is it actually the only one you got in stock?
Yeah.
Lucky me. Thanks, sir.
You want to check it out first?
All right, got the window regulator right here. Man, we took the whole door apart, bro.
Unless you want to take it like that.
No, of course not, bro. This is not classy anymore. Look at that. There's the window itself. Dang. Let's see. The moment of truth.
Woo! Beautiful.
Is it rolling? But we don't have the window though.
No, but it's going up and down.
All right, check this out. Oh, yes, baby. Oh, yes, baby.
Let the battery.
This is the old one, huh?
End of flashback.
I don't use the sunroofs. I never do, so that's why it never bothered me. I'm sorry, the new owner, whoever you are, I didn't do it for you. It's just something I don't use. And then this thing is probably the most impressive thing in the car. I'm gonna start the car to check the windows and show that everything works here besides the sunroof, right? Okay, here's the start. And no lights, besides the seat belt, which is fine. But this thing connects obviously to your phone. But the most impressive thing is that it is actually connected to the steering wheel. There it is, it's connected. And when you play music, let's play the music. There you go, it's playing, and I can control it with the steering wheel, which is nice. I can change the music. There you go, it changed. And it has a split screen, full screen, whatever you want to do, which is great. So this thing is really impressive, super helpful to own an older car with the modern infotainment system. But still no lights on the gauge cluster. Everything works. Let's check the windows actually. Close this door, this door. All right, both windows on the driver's side went down, went up. Both windows on passenger side also went down and now going up. Nice. Now let's get under the hood and see how the engine is performing. Sounds solid to me. From the back, if you can hear anything. But it's nice and smooth. And I was told by the previous owner that the timing chain was serviced on this, so that's one of the biggest concerns for these V8s. And I had a peace of mind driving it, and for over 3,000 miles that I had it, didn't give me any issues, which is nice. Well, this is it. There you have it, the final walkthrough, final video of my beloved short-owned E38 BMW 7 Series. I'm truly gonna miss this car, but I am excited for the new owner that this car will receive. Hopefully, it's gonna be someone that's gonna take care of her and cherish her as I did and previous owners did. And if you are interested in buying this vehicle, then it is live, as I mentioned, on Cars and Bids right now. And if you're not interested in buying this vehicle, then I want to thank you for checking this video out and all the videos I made on this BMW E38. As I mentioned, I'm working on a lot of car things and car projects, and all of that will be here on YouTube. And one of them actually called 3K to Exotic. So check that out. And for those who are interested in buying this car, I wish you a happy bidding. I'll see you on Cars and Bits. Ciao and goodbye, my E38.